Okay. And I want to go to the Blackboard, and I'm going to pull y'all up. And this is how, and again, I'm going over some of this stuff to overlap the unit, the first day video, just in case somebody doesn't watch either one. They're going to get it on one of them, if they do watch one of them at least. And y'all are 12011, I think, correct? Okay, you click on Mylabs Plus. You click on Mylabs Plus again. And like most computers, yours is going to go like that. And it'll do that all day long. You look for little red insignia up here. It's going to be in the address bar. Okay? Right click, and load unsafe scripts. If that don't knock it out, which this one will, I think it will. It didn't. Good. I'm glad it didn't. Now you do it again, and you do always allow pop-ups, done, and refresh. And there you go. Takes you to it. Okay? Now, we're going to talk about Mylabs Plus tonight. I'm going to tell you all about it, and then we're going to go from there. And then hopefully after tonight, you can actually start doing homework to send questions to me for Monday night or Tuesday night, whenever y'all come back. Okay? So I'm going to get out of this now. If you can't, make sure you go through that when you do your initial login. Now, after you do the login, I showed you this the other night, you can go to tctc.mylabsplus. Make sure you put mylabsplus.com and click on do your H. McClure. In your case, it'll be your first and middle, or your first part of your email address here at Tech. And mine is my T number. Yours will be your T number if you haven't changed it. If you've changed it, then it won't be. It'll be your password. Now, I had 3 students this morning, and they could not get on. They brought their laptop, and that's fine. They showed me. They couldn't get on. I said, okay, try it on this one. Got on just like that. Why? Anybody want to take a guess?
It wasn't on the what?
Damn apples. Okay? I am anti-Apple. Okay? I'm sorry. I think it's a scam. I'm anti-Apple. But anyway, all 3 of those students had, what do you call them? iBooks, whatever they're called. None of them worked. Okay? They have to call either Apple or they got to call Pearson and find out why it won't work. I don't know. But they got on here and they got on just like that. So if you have a problem, the reason I'm telling you that, I'm just kidding with the Apple thing. But if you have a problem like that, go to another computer. If you don't have another computer, go down into the lab down here and try to get on and see if everything works. If everything works on another computer, that kind of narrows it down, doesn't it? If it works on another computer, that means yours is something wrong with it. Okay? There it is. All right, so once you get onto it, first of all, does anybody have any questions about anything leading up to this point? Because I'm going to show you how to do the book. I'm going to show you the homework and all that. Anybody got any questions so far? Okay. Now, let's look at your class. Pull it down. There it is. Tuesday, Thursday, 5:40. Click on it. The most important things, and I don't know, after the second day, my classes are running together in my brain, so I don't know what I've told you, and I don't know what I haven't told you, so I'm trying to, so if I repeat myself, after the second day, when I start doing math, I won't start repeating myself, because all this is kind of over and over and over. But you got 4 or 5 buttons over here, okay? It's real self-explanatory. Homework. You click on that, and it takes you to what? The homework. Now, y'all think I'm being a smartass, okay? I'm not. I actually have text and I can't find the homework. I can't find your assignments. I can't find your attendance quiz. I can't find this. Where are they looking? Blackboard. Okay? Here's where it is. Homework. There they are. And I think I've already got these opened up. I don't think I have anything. There's no due date right now. There's no time limit. Let's see if I can click on. I want to go to 3 because that's the math. Make sure I can click on them. Yeah, okay, that's all I want to do. All right, now, let me go back. There we go. With the test and with the homework, Mylabs Plus will tell you the due date, will tell you how long you have to take them, will tell you how many times you got to take it, and will tell you how many questions are on it. It'll tell you all that information. All you got to do is log on and look at it. You don't have to take it. All you got to do is look at it. So you don't have to ask who? Me. Okay? Everything's on here. If there's nothing there, then you don't need to worry about it. I have found in my 20 years plus, who worries about dates? Anybody want, from a student's perspective, who worries about dates?
Teachers.
The students that wait until the what?
Last minute.
Those are the ones that worry about dates. Okay? So I'm not going to do that game. I'm not going to. Now, the way I do it, you get out your outline and you say, and it corresponds, and that's a good thing about this class. The outline corresponds with the homework, and the homework corresponds with the outline. So it's kind of hard to mess this up, although some of y'all will. And when I say y'all, I don't mean in here. I mean just students in general. Okay? I might have told you, did I tell you that chapter 1 and chapter 2 was reading? Did I tell you that?
Yeah.
Okay? You need to start doing that. 20% of the Unit 1 test is from chapters 1 and 2. I will start going over that Tuesday. I will go through, we'll pull the book up, I'll tell you what to highlight, what's stupid, what you don't need to know. I'll tell you all that in chapter 1 and 2. I'll tell you this is going to be on the test. This is not going to be on the test. Do I do that, Mr. Poor? Yes, I do. I tell you what's going to be on the test. Now, it may not be on your test because your question may be something else that I go over, okay? But most of the stuff that I cover is going to be on the test, all right? I'm not one of those that pull, you ever had a class where your teacher goes over red, green, and blue, and then pink is on the test? Well, I don't do that. I'm the opposite. If I say that red, green, and blue is going to be on the test, it may be a different order, it may be different shades, but it's going to be on the test, all right? So I'm pretty straightforward there. Okay, chapter 3. You click on, I'm going to chapter 3 because that's 80% of your test, and I'm not going to do it tonight, but I'm going to do it because it's got mathematical questions that are real short and sweet, and I want to show you some things. All right, so I'm going to go to 3.2, click number 6, and okay, this is good, it's short and sweet. Now, the reason I want to show you this, and I don't think I went into this with y'all, I might have, if I did, is I want you to write these down. Look at all those things right there. I want you to write them down and put a couple of lines under them. So you want to write down, help me solve this, skip a couple of lines. View an example, skip a couple of lines. Video, skip a couple. Animation, actually you can put video and animation together. Put video / animation, textbook, and then ask my instructor. You don't have to worry about the other things. They're pretty much self-explanatory. The Stat Crunch is kind of like a glorified spreadsheet, like Excel, so you don't need to worry about that. Tech Help is for you to get help with your graphing calculator, which I'm going to go over that a lot in class. But these buttons right here are for you when you get home and you get stuck. That's what they're for. They're not to take my place, because you can't do that, all right? But you can, if you get to a hump in your homework, that's what these buttons are for, all right? So what is, help me solve this. Help me solve this is what's called a guided tutorial. I'll pull this back down for you. I want to write, but it's not going to let me write, I bet. Nope, it's not going to let me write, so I'll just leave it until y'all get it all written down. Help me solve this, 2 lines. View an example, 2 lines. Video / animation, 2 lines. Textbook, 2 lines. And ask my instructor. Okay, I'll write them on the board as I go so I can go ahead and start writing, because I want to try to get to a certain place before I let y'all go tonight. Okay. Help me solve this. Whoa. Let's try that again. Help me solve this. It's what's called a guided tutorial. What is a guided tutorial? This is a guided tutorial. You know, the tutor, you got a question. I need you to help me do this question, please, Mr. Tutor. Okay, well, what do you have here? That's one question I asked you. Then I asked you, you have what kind of equation? And you say an equation. What kind of equation? Is it algebraic or is it numerical? And you say it's algebraic. And what do we do when we want to undo addition? And you say subtraction. And then I say, what do you do on one side? You have to do what? And you say on the other. What am I doing as I'm showing you this? I'm asking you a bunch of questions. All right? Questions. When do you want to use questions and when do you want to use the guided tutorial? You use the guided tutorial when you are very unsure about the material. Okay? Now, some of you, I don't know, somebody, I'll go with somebody that looks like they right out, how about, I know you are, you right out of high school, right? Okay. Did you have 120 in high school? Or probability statistics? Some senior year, usually, because they want you to frolic and still make good grades, so they give you the easy class. I'm sorry, they give you the easy class. Anyway, make a long story short, some of you have had 120. But how about the student that hasn't had math in 1,000 years? That's what some of you non-traditional students say. Oh, I haven't had 50 years, I haven't had math. When it's only been like 20, or it's only been like 5, you know, say 1,000. Okay? If you've never seen probability and statistics before, then you might need this for homework whenever you don't know something, or I haven't covered it yet, or I need to cover it again, or whatever. We'll get to that in just a minute. So that's when you use Help Me Solve This. The next one is called View an Example. Okay, I've never understood the I before E, so I don't know if I spelled that right, but I really don't need a lesson on spelling, so just shut up, okay? Just look over it. Okay? Is it right or wrong?
It's wrong.
I say I never have been able to do it. I before E, except shut up. It ain't right. Have you heard that before? I before E, except after blah, 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 blah. It don't work. It's the Russians. Okay? Okay, I before E. Is that right?
It's right.
Okay. View an example. That's when you just say, like Christine, movie Christine, show me. Yeah, I love horror movies. But there's some horror movies I don't like. I don't like zombies. I think zombies are stupid. I think that's stupid. I think I don't like carjacking and going in people's houses. I don't like those either. I like possessions, haunted houses, and I like the paranormal activity. Oh God, I love those. I'm weird. I love those. But the possession of Anna Frank, that was the last one I went. I didn't see it. I saw it on the Fire Stick. It was good. I like that one. I'm weird. Okay. So it's show me. Show me meaning just show me what to do. Okay. Now, when will you use the example? A lot of you use the example when you're just what? Refreshing your memory. Okay? When you refresh your memory, because you've had it before. So a lot of you high school students that had it back in junior, senior year, you'll be using View an Example more than you would be using Help Me Solve This versus a non-traditional student which needs Help Me Solve This because View an Example may be a little bit too much. Capiche? Okay, so let's see what they look like. I'm just going to go through and show you what they look like, and then we're going to move on to video and other. Okay? Just want you to see which learning style you are, because a lot of people want to know which learning style you are, especially since some of you are traditional and non-traditional. Traditional and non-traditional, you know what that's politically correct for? Y'all not going to say it, are you? Young and old, okay? That's what it's politically correct for. All right, so Now that I've offended everybody, go tell my boss. All right, help me solve this. There it goes. Continue. What is this? What is this? You have to answer. And then if you get it wrong, you got to wait and do it again. So it's going to ask you questions all through the problem. Whereas, if you do question to view an example, you don't have to answer anything. You just go through and do it like that. And don't let this intimidate you. It's not that big of a deal. Okay? We'll get to that later. That's just a bunch of, you ever met somebody that knew big words but didn't know how to use them? Okay, it's the same thing. It's a bunch of big words, got their pinky up, but all it means is you add all the numbers up. So don't let that. And it's just a pinky. Dang old, remember Patrick Starr holding up his pinky, telling SpongeBob to put on airs? Okay, that's what you're doing. You're putting on airs. All right, now video. Video is for the visual learners. We got 3 guys in here. All right, I don't know about y'all, but y'all all know that the guys never look at the directions. Never. Dang old Santa Claus, dang old putting the bat together. And what does the woman say? Every time they get the bike together, what does the woman say after she picks up the extra parts? Oh, those are extra. And Johnny's in the ditch because the front tire came off. Okay? He did. Anyway, the front tire comes off because the guy never reads the what? Directions. And how many times before GPS, y'all ladies, have y'all been with a guy and gone somewhere and the zippy mark with the green car in front of it, you went around circles 15 times? Don't you need to go in there and ask, I don't need directions, I know where we are. Fixing to get mugged in the car is what you're fixing to do. Anyway, guys don't take directions. They have to see the picture. Just show me the picture. Yeah. Anyway, that's the video. You click on video and it comes up. Nope, look at there. It didn't come up. Look up there in the right-hand corner. There's that pop-up thing. Always. Aren't you glad that we're so technological driven here at Tri-County Tech? And we have to do that every single time. Let me hit one more time. Okay, I did it. I'm going to hit videos again. Oh, yeah, we're cooking with peanut oil now. And you can look at it by hand. You can look at it with the spreadsheet, or you can look at it with the calculator. So I'm going to do it by hand. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but there it is. Now again, this is not to take the place of the teacher. This is to get you over the hump if you're on number 10 and you can't get to number 15. Or you're on number 9 and you can't get to number 10. That's what these buttons are for. Okay? And I'm not going to go through all that. Now, if you don't like the guy, I don't know why you would like this versus the graphic tutorial, but it's the same thing. The graphic tutorial is done with what? The computer. Please don't let me. Okay, there we go. Graphic animation does the same thing, except you don't have a person. You have this. Okay, so make it big. And it should have a play button, which I don't see it. Okay, all right, there's no, okay, some of them, oh, okay, I see what it's doing. You're just doing this. That's not what I'm used to. I'm used to a voice and a play button. It's showing, that's not a good example, but it's showing how to do, you got to read the directions, which I don't know how to do, but, you know, you put them right here, and this is not a good example with a graphic tutorial. Some graphic tutorials will say, you do this, and then they bring it in from the left. And then you subtract 2, and then they bring that in. And then you add 4, and then you bring, in other words, the person is not writing on the board, the graphics are coming in to the screen. That's the difference. You do whichever one you want. It doesn't matter to me. But those are for you visual learners, guys. Visual learners. All right, here is text. Now, if it were not for audible.com, I would not read anything, okay? Because I can read one page of a book, and I won't even get to the end of the page before I fall asleep. Anybody like that? Anybody over here? Y'all behind the screen. I cannot see y'all. I'm not including y'all. Y'all gonna feel left out. Did anybody in here read a book and fall asleep before you get the first page done? Okay, there are some people. I have to do audible.com, and I've done pretty good. I've read like 3 or 4 books. I've listened to 3 or 4 books, and it's pretty good. I like it. But I have no idea where I was going with this. Oh, some of y'all can read War and Peace like in 2 hours, okay? Y'all like read 5 books a day or 5 books a week, or y'all are weird. Okay, anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Y'all are good people. If you can read 5 books a week or 5 books a day, knock yourself out. You're intelligent. I can't do it. I can't get past the first page. But anyway, it takes you to the book right there, so you can read it. So that's the reading learning style, okay? You like to read the text. 4 different learning styles. So that covers all of those excuses. Now let's get to what happens when you just don't have a clue. When you don't have a clue, you go down to Ask My Instructor. Now, what is that going to do? Is that going to bring me up on the screen? No. What it's going to do is it's going to send me your question. Please help me. I am a loser. Okay? Now, you send that to me, and I will confirm that. So you hit send. Now, watch this. I go to my handy-dandy email that I've already configured. Hopefully it will work. And I love being on a cutting edge technology campus college. It logs you out every 5 seconds. 2050, that's when Tri-County will get with the program. There we go. Oh, it's not there. No, it's not. It should be in my little Math 120 folder over here. Oh, look at there. Please help me. I am a loser. So if I have 5 or 10 of those at the beginning of class, that's what we're going to go over at the beginning of class. This is a good thing. Why? There's 2 or 3 reasons this is a good thing. 1, it keeps you from having you raise your hand and everybody talking about you while you're raising your hand. Okay? Gosh, she's asking that question. He's asking that question. You know how people used to be timid about raising their hand? You don't have to write anything down. All you got to do is hit 2 buttons. I know that's a lot of work for some of y'all, but 2 buttons is easy to a lot of people. And there it is. I don't even have to write it down. I pick it, I click on it, and it comes up in front of everybody. There it is. Okay? Why is it? What's the second reason it's good? The second reason it's good is the speed of the class is dependent upon who? Me or you? You. Because if squeaky door gets what? Grease. I like to say grease because if you say OIL, and notice I don't ever say OIL, okay? If you say OIL, there's always going to be this perfect person in the group that's going to make fun of the way you're saying it. Just like I don't say FOIL, I don't say DOG, I don't say LOG, because there's always this perfect person that's usually from north of the Mason-Dixon line that tells you you're stupid because of the way you say it. So I don't say it. I say DOG. That's the way I say it. My kids do it now. My kids will not say OIL or DOG now. But anyway, everybody knows that DOG is spelled DAWG with capital letters, with a GO in front of it, right? And an S. That's the way DOG is spelled. All right, anyway, yeah, Carolina. Well, we don't even go in there. We won't talk about Carolina. But anyway, the whole point is this. So what happens is, if I go over 1.1 material today, then you are responsible for doing 1.1 homework that night. Now, this is a double-edged sword. If you use one side and you do everything you're supposed to, then you send me questions. Tuesday when we come back, the 15, 20 minutes, I go over questions. Boom, boom, boom. Then we move on to 1.2. Then you're responsible for 1.2. You send it. What's the bad side? The procrastinators. The procrastinators will wait until the end to do all the homework. And then when they have questions, they're going to try to send all those questions to me. And guess what? Hell to the no. I'm not doing it. Why? Go to your outline. Let's go to your outline right quick. Pull your outline out. We're going to look at something. Because there's a reason I do this. 120 handout. Here it is, the tentative schedule. Now see, the handout can be used with the book, to print out the book. The handout can be used for your calendar. The handout can be used when you miss something. And the handout can be used here. Because when you pull the handout up, and y'all did do away with those week 1 and week 2. Yeah, do away with those because pepper, chocolate, outside the lines. I do not go with that, okay? Look at here. Here is Unit 1. Now, besides doing a calendar and besides printing out and all that stuff used, and besides if you miss Tuesday and I went over 1.2 on Thursday, then I'm going to go over 1.2, 1.3 on Tuesday. Besides using it like that, there's 3 ways. The fourth thing you can do is see when the test is due or when the test is going to appear. The test is going to appear right after the what? The review for the test. How do you review for the test, Hubert? We'll go over that in a little bit. But what happens is Mr. Poor is a good student. So he does 1.1 when I go over 1.1. He does 1.2 when I go over 1.2, and so on. So when I get to 3.5, he goes home and he does 3.5. And then on the day of the review, he sends me a question. I go over 3.5 question that he sends, and then we hit what? The review. That's the way it's supposed to be done. Okay? But Miss Jeter, being the black sheep that she is, she don't do any of that. She decides, okay, I'm gonna do 3 sections tomorrow night, and then I'm gonna do 3 sections the next night, and then the roof falls in her house, and the cat dies, and all this, and everything happens, and she tries to do all of these sections right before the review. And she sends me 16, 20 questions. I'll do the 3.5 questions, and that's it. She'll have to see me out of class. Why? Because if I go over all those questions out of other sections, what's that doing to the ones that followed the rules? It's holding them what? It's holding them up. Okay? Okay. The weight of the world does not fall to procrastinators. Okay, I'm not one of these kumbaya people, but I will tell you when something doesn't work. I didn't check my email. That don't work anymore. That was in 2002, 2001. Now it's not cute. I don't know how to work this. That's not cute anymore. And procrastination is not looked good upon in the real world. And some of y'all know that because some of y'all work in offices. You know that. Okay? So don't practice it. Now, you have a good thing here because you've got Tuesday and Thursday night, and then you got the weekend. Okay, so all you have to really do is work on that between Monday and Thursday. What is it? Wednesday. There it is. Wednesday. The only day you really have to work is Wednesday because the rest of it you can do when? On the weekend. So the Wednesday is the only section that you really need to worry about because the other you can do. But don't let it pile up on you because it's going to get you when we get to the test. Now, you'll go off. Hubert, if he goes 1.1 and 1.2 Tuesday, then he'll probably go over 1.3. I go over 1.3 and half of 1.4. Then you say, okay, he's going to go over half of 1.4. So after Thursday, I can start 1.4 because he's going to finish 1.4. This is what you should be thinking. Okay, I got to go to work. I can't go Tuesday night. He's probably going to go over 2.1. So what I'll do is watch the video and see what he covers. Then I can do that homework. That's why the videos are so important. Okay, and the outline is so important. Everything that you go by is on this outline. It focuses around the book. What do you want to print out? It focuses around the homework. It focuses around the test. It focuses around the videos. Everything in this class, it goes along this outline. So if you're one of these people that don't print it out and put it in your notebook and don't cry and whine when you don't know what's going on. Okay? Again, I don't think I'm talking to the population that I usually talk to in here because I'm not having to deal with people who can't spell mom backwards. Okay. So when I get to the test, what happens when I get to the review? This is what happens. Let's say let's say I go over 3.5. Okay, we finish in 3.5 tonight. So y'all, that means Tuesday we're going to go over a review for the test. Boom, Tuesday. Tonight's Tuesday. You come in. I say, okay, let's pull up the test. And I'll pull the test up, in which I'll do that right now. I don't know if I got one pulled up. Let's see if I got one pulled up. No, I don't. So it'll take me a second. Let me go in here and pull it up right quick for you. Homework. Here we go. Course tools, assignment. Just give me a second. It'll only take me a minute to pull it in. Hold on, if I could think and chew bubble gum at the same time. Oh shoot. Let me pull in, create, import, next. Let's go with fall. Next, test, unit 1 test. Next, import. Okay, there we go. And I will make it due. I'm just gonna hit preview. Well, no, I need to show you everything. So let me go in here and hit settings. And today is the 10th. And what time is it? It's 6:58. How much time I got? What time's class over? Okay, I'll do this Tuesday because I don't want to ruin. But I'll just do a preview right quick because I got a few minutes. Let me do a preview and you can at least look at it. You click on it, it's going to ask you, do you want to start the test? It has a due date, it has a time. I usually give you an hour and a half, 3 times to take the test. It takes the higher of the 3. We'll go over this Thursday. Okay, it takes the highest of the 3. If you make a 98 on the first one and you don't take the other 2, that's 98, 0, and 0. It'll grab the 98 and put that in your grade book. Everybody with me? Takes the higher of 2. Final exam, I give you 2 exams. Give you 2 tries, takes the higher of the 2. Okay, I give you 7 days to take the test on your time, not in this class. 7 days. That takes care of the 5 flat tires, the 3 dead grandmothers, all that crap that y'all come up with. Okay, so that takes care of that. I also give you a week at the end of the semester to do anything that you haven't completed. So even if you did have a 2-week funeral to go to and you missed Unit 3 test, you still have a week at the end of the semester to do it. There's no way to miss a test in my class. Do I have people do it? Okay, I'm going to show you a few. Why does Hubert not entertain extra credit? Because I give you these questions on a test and let you drop the 2 lowest test grades. So I don't do extra credit. Don't ask for it. There's a math question. There's a math question. Keep up with it. How many are math and how many are... How is Hubert's quizzes counted? Well, it's the only one that counts. It's the only one that equals what? 100. Okay? Last day of class, that's going to change to Tuesday, April what?
23rd.
There you go. That's the question. Here's Hubert's email and what?
Phone number.
Phone number. It's the only one that makes any what?
Sense.
Do I have people miss it?
Yes.
If you have an incomplete assignment, what does Hubert put in its place? Oh, well, it puts a 0 in it. What happens to your grade? It decreases. I'm watching for some of y'all that's going to explode. I got 4 minutes. Okay? If you take several forms of a test in Hubert's class, how is it counted? I like C. He calls you a loser and fails you. I like that. But unfortunately, I can't put 2 correct answers, so it's yeah, it's B. Okay? Next one. Math. When is that'll be April 23rd through what?
The 30th.
30th. And this is the one where this ain't the one somebody got offended. This is the one that somebody didn't know what December 7th, 1941 was. They said, I'm offended over 9/11, 2011. I said, well, how do you feel about December 7th, 1941? What's that? Didn't even know what that was. Anyway, a math question. I got 3 minutes. I'm watching. Math question. Which branch? It's the only one that's got United States because it's the only one that matters. Anyway, next. If a student does not complete a homework assignment or test, what grade will be recorded for that assignment? This is a question that a student said, I didn't know a 0 would be put in. No, we're gonna put biscuits in. Although covered in handouts, the first day of class by Hubert, what is the best way to communicate with Hubert? Email him over and over so I can use it as an excuse because I suck as a student. That's the best one. Okay, I like the cell phone. Math question. Math question. Does Hubert replace your lowest grade with your final exam grade? No way, no how. There's a story behind that one too. Student said, I thought you'd been probably, shut up. What should a student do if something happens and they are out of school for a while? What do you do if you have to be out of work for a while? No, you don't tell Hubert. You just say you went to a cruise a week after grade turn-in. You tell somebody you went to a cruise and you missed a test. If you look at your overall grade one day and it has decreased from several days ago, what has happened? A will be accepted. No, it's a 0 has been placed. Okay, when does the homework terminate? Toward the end of the unit. Math, math, math. If you miss a question on a test and you believe it is correct, what should you do? Send several emails to Hubert with the last one saying, hello. No, that's going to really make brownie points for you. You should what? Ask to see Hubert after class. And overall grade. Now, let's say you have no clue what's going on in the class. You can still make a what? A 57. Do I have people make 26s? Yep. Do I have people fail this class with a 4? Yep.
A 4.
These people procreate. I'm serious. I mean, honestly, think about it. If you ever meet somebody, and I know I got 1 minute left, if you ever meet somebody that makes below a 50 in my class, move away from them very slowly. All right. Anybody got a question for me so far? Let me hit the recorder, turn it off. Anybody got any questions? I think I got 1 minute because it's still 7:05. I got 1 minute.
You said the homework is already on Mylabs.
Yeah, you can go ahead and be working on it, but you don't have to because I ain't started.